So tonight's theme, a little bit of tonight, is more about e-commerce than it is Amazon. Tomorrow night is mostly about Amazon. Tonight is more e-commerce focused, and the reason this is becoming a sharper focus for me and something that I bring into people's consciousness who are interested and have made the decision that where they want to be is in online selling of products, which in my opinion is a wise decision, right? That is, you know, when you set out on the course of business, it is important that you set out on a course that has momentum, right? There's the old saying, the old poem that we've heard many times, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. There is so much wisdom in that poem. But the first part of it is row, right? Don't panic, don't freak out, it's row. It's kind of an easeful thing. It all gets fucked up if you're going upstream in a river, right? Rowing becomes a lot easier when you're in a river that's flowing, firstly flowing, and flowing the right way. So your decision to get into e-commerce is perfectly timed. That's why you're seeing people in our community break these 100,000 mark and $1 million mark and all this stuff. So e-commerce, Amazon being a marketplace, when you look at e-commerce, there's really only two. So the first thing is you guys got into e-commerce, which is a product-based business. You could have gone into a services business, which is selling time. The fact that most of us are needing to do this as a side hustle leaves us with products which sell when we don't need to be there for our time. And there's really only two choices once you go into the products business. A is to join a marketplace, which is a smart move because it's the easiest way into transactions. What I mean by that is, irrespective of whether you join a marketplace like Amazon or Etsy or Walmart or whatever, where there's a overriding framework and traffic, or whether you go into a Shopify direct marketing where you take care of the traffic, either way, you're going to have to develop a brand, find a product, find a supplier, do all those things. The reason that Amazon has done so well for third-party sellers is because it just takes out of the equation so many of the things that just limit our ability to go global. Amazon makes it really easy to go global. So once you've learned that, what you've also got to do is learn what made Amazon successful, which is owning the customer. Why are Amazon so fiercely protective of the dialogue that you have with a customer, right? It's because they know that the value of a business is in who owns the relationship, right? So what I would hope from those of you that are thinking about creating value, because at the end of the day, your ability to have that thing you want, which I'm hoping, well, not hoping, I'm guessing is probably time. You might say you want $1 million or $10 million or $1 million a year, but all of it is, whether it's cash flow or whether it's equity that you're after or both, when you really peel back the layers, it's just always comes back to time. You just want to be able to be on a boat somewhere with your family or traveling perpetually or whatever. It's just you want time. And that comes from having cash flow from business or from assets. So irrespective of which way you go about it, if you're going to get there, owning the customer is an important transition that I think some of you will want to make. And tonight we're going to hear from Eric, we're going to hear from Haley, we're going to hear from Udi and others. But owning that relationship, once you get there, starting in a marketplace makes so much sense because you do all that stuff of developing product, developing brand, learning how to identify a gap in the market, learning how to beat your competitors. But if you can migrate some of those customers, and if you want to get yourself thinking, especially those of you that have been Amazon sellers for a while, what I'd like you to do is go into your Amazon seller account and export a sales report back as far as you can. Ignore the amount of dollars that have gone through and just pay attention to the number of units that you have sold. Now ask yourself the question, what if 20% of those had migrated to your own environment, where they'd connected with you in your Shopify store, or they'd looked you up and found you there? What would the value of those customers be over time if you were offering them new products and you were offering them new things that you were releasing and so on? The answer is the value would be a lot. And it solves so many of the problems where Amazon struggles, right? Every time they do a search on Amazon, you're then competing with all of these other products, irrespective of whether they bought from you before, because you don't own the customer. But if you can migrate them, or you've got this business over here that has a situation where you own the customer, that is where your multiple is going to be earned at a higher rate. It's where you can develop a relationship with the customer, and it takes away the suspension challenges and so on. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video, make sure you hit subscribe as well as the little bell that's sitting around here so that you get notified when we drop any new videos. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe and the bell.